So if you're like me, you probably love music. But if you're even more like me, you listen to music, you don't just hear it. Um, my choice of music would have to be a certain genre, which is more like a culture also. It's 80s music. Um, basically, 80s music, I believe, developed the whole culture in the decade. I believe music shaped the decade as a whole in every aspect. Um, and I will demonstrate how this has affected my life and is part of my life and how I like 80s music. So, a little about my cultural artifact is the cassette tape. This cassette tape is not an actual cassette tape because it was the closest thing I could find to cassette tape, but it's an adapter. So yeah, basically this artifact, maybe you guys have seen it, maybe you haven't. It's a cassette tape, and basically how you use it is you would put it in this contraption. Maybe you guys don't know, it's called stereo or box. Put it in, we'll read the tape off, the film, and they'll play music. The reason why this is my cultural artifact is because during the 80s, there were no CDs around. That came later on, late 80s, early 90s, and vinyl disc, the large record disc, they were getting out of style already, and this was compact. It was the best way of music to communicate and to share music, and you can basically relate this to as what an iPod is to us, because we listen to it everywhere, and this is the equivalent of it in the 80s. Now, background to my cultural artifact, I was introduced into 80s music basically because of my family. My family, my parents, my uncles, we have family gatherings and they would put 80s music because that was their time, that was their generation when they were young, and it basically grew on me, and I just developed this love for that music. That's why this genre is important to me because it holds that special part of my heart where it reminds me of family, but yet I like the meanings it has, and I believe a lot of songs like that don't share the same meanings the way the 80s music does. A little about the genres of the time, I would say very upbeat music. As you guys know, Michael Jackson was around, Madonna, and I kind of focus on those, but I like more of like the rock songs of the time period. Maybe like, I'm not sure, but they're mostly love songs, break songs, and like heartbreak songs, and a lost love or something about like that. And I really like the way the artists and the bands convey their message through the words. And so basically this 80s music, I believe, has had a big impact on today's music as well. Lately I've been hearing songs that reminisce me of like the same kind of sounds of 80s music. If you're not familiar with it, it has like a very gray and shadowy kind of sense to it. It's echoey. It's not dark, but it's close to it in a sense, you could say, the music I listen to. I believe some bands that try to imitate 80s music are such like, if you guys ever heard of M83, the song Midnight City, that has very like 80-ish qualities. Also, another aspect that I see in today's music is that if you guys have heard of Jay-Z, he has a song called Young Forever, and many people don't know that that song is actually a remake of an 80s song called Forever Young by a band called Alphaville. And a lot of people don't know that, and that really gets me angry, I guess, because Jay-Z doesn't give credit to the actual band that wrote that song. And that's a way that you guys maybe can relate to it. And I believe that maybe you guys should get more into it and start listening to more 80s music, because you'll start seeing a lot of similarities with current music, and how really the 80s music is timeless, because I'm in the bookstore and I still hear like Cyndi Lauper playing, or like girls like that, and like it's kind of crazy how like I hear like Tainted Love when I'm walking down and stuff. And so yeah, I believe it's timeless, and how we should put a little more focus into it, and how this brings me, and how I'm part of the culture, and how me and my friends share it is we drive around in our cars and like we just bump 80s music. and I thought it was a really cool time, and that's basically why I love 80s music. So in conclusion, you guys can maybe find an interest in 80s music, learn more about it, start listening to it, maybe like it, and you'll see the similarities between today's music and how the past has influenced the present as it always does. And as someone once told me, to know the present, you must know the past. And that I feel like this is a perfect example for that. Thank you.